Let's take a deeper dive into the heartbreaking backstory of Branch from the Trolls movie. As a little baby troll, Branch was part of a super popular singing group called BroZone with his 4 older brothers, Floyd, John Dory, Spruce, and Clay. The siblings had been trying their hardest to sing in perfect harmony together, hoping to wow crowds with their amazing family vocals. When it came time for their big debut concert, poor little Branch was a total nervous wreck. He was so scared he was going to mess everything up in front of all those people watching. Branch was worried he might even throw up or pass out from the stress of it all. One of his big brothers, Floyd, came to check on him backstage and saw how anxious Branch was feeling. Floyd totally understood where he was coming from though. He remembered being a total nervous wreck before their very first show too. But Floyd tried to reassure the little guy, telling him to just remember that his brothers were all up there with him.
You got the pre-show jitters. Completely normal. Everyone gets them. You want to know what I do when I get them?
Barf, pass out, and pee our pants.
I remember that I'm with my brothers, and that when we come together, there is nothing that we can't do.
Unfortunately, when the BroZone boys took the stage, it was a total disaster. No matter how hard they tried, the brothers just couldn't get their harmonies to sound right. It was a complete train wreck. All Branch could do was stand there in total embarrassment as the crowd watched the whole thing fall apart. After the show, Branch's older brothers started arguing and fighting with each other over the failed performance. The fighting got so bad that it ended up tearing the whole band apart. In the end, the only 2 brothers left were Branch and Floyd. Even though the whole disastrous concert mess wasn't really Branch's fault, he still couldn't help but blame himself for everything that happened.
It's my fault. I ruined everything.
No, Branch, this is not your fault. We're not in sync. We've gone from boys to men, and now there's only one direction for us to go. The back streets.
Hearing that, little Branch was really hoping Floyd wouldn't have to leave him all alone. But Floyd reassured the worried young troll that this wasn't goodbye forever. He promised him that he'd be back real soon. Before he left, Floyd also told Branch that he had an important job to do in the meantime, taking care of their grandma. As a parting gift, Floyd handed him his special leaf vest, telling the little guy to follow his heart and maybe even try doing some solo singing on his own. But Branch felt so lost without his big brothers around. He had no idea how to even begin a solo career, and he was scared about taking care of grandma all by himself. Still, Branch was determined to do what Floyd asked, even though he was feeling super unsure and nervous about the future. For the longest time after the whole disastrous concert mess with his BroZone band, Branch spent most of his days hiding out in the big troll tree. This was back when all the trolls were still trapped in Bergen town, living in fear of being eaten by the Bergens. One day though, Branch let his guard down for a second. He got caught up singing a song, not paying attention to his surroundings. That's when the head honcho Bergen chef noticed him. Chef was the main bad guy in the Trolls movie. She loved eating trolls more than anything. Seeing Branch singing, she tried to grab him right then and there. But quick-thinking Branch's grandma saw what was happening. She rushed over and pushed him off the branch he was standing on, saving his life. Unfortunately though, in the process, Grandma got captured by Chef and the other Bergens. Branch was completely traumatized by watching his grandma get taken away, probably to be eaten. After that, he turned all gray and lost his love for singing. Branch decided he had to avoid everyone and everything to make sure he never lost anyone else he cared about again. Deep down though, he never gave up hope that his BroZone brothers would come back for him someday. He had to keep that hope alive, even as he grew up to be the paranoid, gloomy survivalist we know from the movie.
Yeah, I really only have enough supplies down here to last me 10 years, 11 if I'm willing to store and drink my own sweat. Which I am. You all said I was crazy, huh? Well, who's crazy now? Me. Crazy prepared.
All the heartbreak and tragedy he went through made him extra cautious to the point of seeming crazy. But it was just his way of protecting himself after losing so much. The pressure to be perfect, the pain of his family falling apart, and the trauma of almost losing his life and then losing his grandma, It all added up to shape Branch into the troll he became. When the other trolls finally made their big escape from Bergen town, Branch had no choice but to go with them. He may have been a gloomy survivalist, but deep down he never stopped believing that his brothers would eventually come back.